This is the unmistakable tone of iron. Very scratchy. Very scratchy, low end of the range. The unmistakable tone of iron. It sounds like fingernails on a chalkboard. But last weekend, the day was rainy and cold. It was quite like this. While I did get some metal detecting in, it was a very uneventful morning. It was probably just about 2 hours. So I ventured over to a local auction that I frequent. And there, without the use of a metal detector, I discovered some iron. And while we're always looking for artifacts and relics, this particular piece of iron is super, super special. This piece of iron has a lot of history, straight from the battlefield of Gettysburg. So wait till you see this amazing piece of Civil War iron. Friends, this is a piece of iron that you don't mind finding with a metal detector. Now, I didn't find this with a metal detector, obviously. I found it instead of metal detecting at a local auction. But what an incredible find. This is an authentic Civil War iron frame cot that came straight off the battlefields of Gettysburg. You see, the day after the battle ended, local families went and gathered up a number of mementos and pieces of military gear that they took and stored as remembrances of that battle. This comes straight from a family whose descendants did that. This was in their barn in York, Pennsylvania. They had a number of Civil War artifacts that were gathered up from the Gettysburg field. This cot is truly a remarkable piece of Civil War history and furniture. Now, possibly it was a medical cot, possibly it was an officer's cot. I would assume that the infantrymen mostly slept on the ground. Notice the sturdy but portable construction. The 2 legs, head section and foot section, are designed to collapse into the middle to be carried flat. 6 studs on each side would have held a leather or stretched canvas sleeping surface. It is a remarkable piece of Civil War history, and it just goes to show when you can't get out to the field to metal detect, there's still history to be found. And in this case, I found it at a very local auction. Now, I can't say it would have been very comfortable to sleep in, but given the alternatives, I'm sure it was a relative lap of luxury. Truly a very interesting and historic artifact. I don't think I'll ever see another again. There is one in the American Civil War Museum. The parallels between my cot and the one in the Civil War Museum are quite obvious. What's interesting is the one in the museum was owned by General Robert E. Lee. I'm sure there's some other examples around, mostly in museums, but to find one in private hands and be able to add that to metal detecting repertoire of various artifacts from different periods is really super special. As much as I like finding iron historic objects at local auctions, I'd much rather be out metal detecting in the fields, looking for all those lost goodies that we search for, whether it's silver coins, Indian head pennies, wheat pennies, you name it. It's out there to be found. And thankfully, I live in a very historic part of the United States in Pennsylvania. So odds are good that we'll find some new things the next time we're out, which hopefully will be tomorrow.